You know, we got guys that haven't played. They had guys that sat out, and they thought it was, you know, sweet to come back and play against us. It ain't sweet. So we're trying to put the league on notice, one game at a time, one win at a time, one practice at a time, never too high, never too low. Simple as that.
About your team in these last 5 wins.
We the one, Jack. We the one, Jack.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, one of the NBA's more younger talented teams. Over the past 2 to 3 seasons, the Timberwolves have endured a lot, and every season seems to end disappointingly, going on what at times feels like an endless losing streak or overall just underachieving based on their talent level. But this season, it's starting to seem like you're seeing the light at the end of this long, arduous tunnel of losing. As of right now, a quarter of the way through the season, 20 games. The Timberwolves are sitting at 500 right now. They're 10-10, 7th in the West. Now, let's break down why they're taking a leap. Let's first start with their defense. The Timberwolves are actually playing defense this year. It's been really, really impressive to see, and I think this is where their leap forward starts at. Coach Chris Finch has gotten buy-in from all of his players on this end of the floor. Yes, I mean everyone. That includes D'Lo, Cat, Anthony Edwards. On the floor, the leader of this defensive revelation has been Patrick Beverley.
They're not giving us no calls, so don't complain about nothing. If you get bloody nose, get the back.
Also, players such as Jared Vanderbilt, Jay McDaniels, Torian Prince, Josh Okogie, guys like that have been highly valuable and have made a ton of plays for them. But like I said before, the buy-in from everyone else, the guys like Naz Reid, Cat, D'Lo, and Malik Beasley, have really put the defense over the top, and they've been super solid on that end. As of right now, they're 19th in opponents' points per game, but before the last 2 games, one was a double overtime game and one was against the Hornets, who have probably the most explosive offense in the NBA. They were in 8th at 104.8 points per game. But as I digress, their activity on that end has paid dividends, as they're top 5 in both steals and blocks per game, ranking at 4th in steals and 1st in blocks in those categories. So they're playing defense, man. That's a great step. Offensively, mostly everything runs through their big 3: Cat, D'Lo, and Anthony Edwards. I don't think this is a stretch, but their offense really hinges on how much those 3 guys can manufacture offense, not only for themselves, but for their teammates as well. And I have to say for the most part, because of course they don't account for absolutely everything on that end of the floor, but it starts and stops with them. And they're really, really freaking good. Right now they're averaging about 63 points per game amongst each other scoring wise, and I think they all complement each other really well. Cat is an ultra-skilled big man who can pop to the 3 and hit threes at a historic clip. He can also drive you from the 3-point line and finish at the rim with power, or he can finish you with finesse, and he can also post up and play out of the pick and roll really well. Add on to that 2 players that on the outside can shoot it and create their own shots. D'Lo is a guy who creates his own shot, but he leans more into playmaking and pick and roll operation, while Anthony Edwards is more so of a pure scorer. He's shown the ability to shoot at times, but he can also bop you, then he can fly by you, on his way to the rim to detonate on you. Oh, yeah, and all 3 of them, they're more than capable of going for a 35 plus on any given night. Just one of them. One can have 50, one can have 40 one night, the other one can have 36, and they've done so. You've seen it. And also want to give a shout out to some of the other contributors, guys like Malik Beasley, Naz Reid, Jay McDaniels. Those 3 have been really, really solid in pitching in and creating baskets for themselves, while also playing off of this big 3 without a hitch most of the time. Now, we're going to do about 3 or 4 player spotlights, shine a light on some of the players on this team that have been performing well, have made leaps, or something that I've seen that I've noticed that I really, really like. So, getting straight into it. DAngelo Russell. DAngelo Russell has been super solid. He's been a super solid contributor for this team so far, putting in 19 points, 4 rebounds, and about 6 assists a game. D'Lo does have his fair share of detractors, and some of them come with good reason as to why. But one of D'Lo's biggest weaknesses has improved, and it's getting a spotlight for me. I'm more so focused on his improved activity defensively. He's becoming a better team defender, and really he's just giving a lot more effort on that end of the ball, end of the ball, and it's good to see. You know what I'm saying? He's funneling guys in to help at the rim, picking pockets, playing the gaps well, getting steals, and really impressive to me. It's a nice improvement. As a whole, his defense has improved, but still, if you get him in a one-on-one situation, he's more than times than not, he's still food. So, but hey, he's improving, man. So, shout out to you, D'Lo. And man, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a superstar in the making, bro. He's got all the traits to be one, and right now, this early in his career, we're just along for the ride to see what he's doing and where he's going. His physical traits are evident, the way he's built. He's bouncy, his athleticism, and his really, I don't give a you-know-what attitude about his opponents on the court. Talking about his game, he can make plays off the bounce. He can really sit there and heem you, set him up for a step back, or get by you, get to the rim, and finish at the rim with finesse, or he can finish at the rim with the utmost of power. You know what I'm saying? And he's a mildly consistent shooter from three. He's already had some monster games this season too, bro. Like, it's crazy. With the monster games being said, he's had better highlights, bro. Like, legit. Like, but by no means is Ant-Man perfect. At times he can jack up some shots, and he does still have bouts of young fella defense, which if you don't know, is just like not being aware or not making the effort to get on a certain side of a pick and roll, or go to help, go to tag, do something simple like that. But he's only 20 years old, like I said, and he's in the second season in the NBA, so you can't expect perfection so far. So shout out to you, Ant-Man. Keep doing your thing, man. Jared Vanderbilt. Jay Vando was a guy spotlighted in a preseason video. Go check that out if you haven't. And so far this season, he's been highly valuable for the Wolves. He isn't a scorer, so you're not going to see any insane scoring stats. He averages 5 points a game, but that's not what Jared got paid for. Jared's value comes from doing the dirty work. He's a cleaner. He's the second lead rebounder on the team, and he leads the team in offensive rebounding at about 3 a game. And by the way, the Wolves are leading the NBA in offensive rebounding. And a lot of that has to do with this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's had 5 games with 5 or more offensive rebounds. So you could say the work is being put in. And oh yeah, on the other side of the ball, defense. Menace. That young man is menacing. Like, he's in passing lanes. He can guard you one-on-one. He can recover and block shots. He can do a lot of stuff. And he, so far, in my opinion, he's putting in an all-defensive caliber season so far. So, shout out to you, Jay Vando. Keep hooping. Keep putting on for the Kentucky boys.
My name is Patrick Beverley. I'm from Chicago. I think this is my 10th year in the NBA, 14 years total, counting overseas. I've been on a lot of winning cultures, played with a lot of great players, met a lot of great people, have a lot of great friends. I'm here to do one thing, impact winning. That's all. Whether if it's, I don't know, helping a young guy, rebounding for somebody, I'm hitting a big shot, fouling the shit out of somebody, getting a technical foul, whatever the case might be. Impact winning. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, sir.
And last but not least, Pat Bev, the vet, the guy who's trying to change the culture of this team. And so far this season, can you say he's doing a bad job at it? And I know a lot of people don't like Patrick Beverley because of things he's done in his past, but in my opinion, I've always had a ton of respect for Pat Bev just because of his journey to the NBA and how he had to get there. And that's a part of his DNA. And the DNA that he has is rubbing off onto this team. He had to fight every single day to earn a spot in the NBA. He had to continue to fight every day to establish himself in the league. And that's the mentality that this team should have. If they want to win, they got to fight every night. Play hard every night. Never stop. Never settle. Hold yourself accountable. And that's what Pat brings to the team. While some people say he's just running around out there, in my opinion, he's making an impact and affecting winning for this team. Shout out to you, Patrick Beverley. I'm excited for how the Timberwolves will continue to grow and progress throughout the other 3 quarters of the season. And I'm also interested to see if they'll make the playoffs. And the biggest reason why I think the T-Wolves will get there is from their fight. The fight that they have as a team was demonstrated in their game. Their last game against the 76ers, double overtime, pulled out a 1-point win. Down the stretch in both of the overtimes and at the end of the fourth quarter, not a lot of things were going their way. They weren't getting any foul calls. They were down Cat, Jay McDaniels, who fouled out. Joel Embiid was getting every call. And when he wasn't getting fouled, he was going stupid. He was hitting jumpers, turnarounds, layups, dunking the ball. And the most impressive thing is the Wolves didn't get too high. They didn't get too low. They stayed the course. And when it came down to it, they locked in, got a stop, and it led to a win. And to me, from seeing this team over the past few years to now, that's progress. That's so much progress, bro. And I'm hoping for more going forward. Until next time, people, stay cozy.